And here we have it, page 6. And you think by the time we get to page 6, man, that page 4 especially, I think there's some trickiness to it. Page 6, oh my gosh, these must be tough. Nope, these are not going to be a big problem for us, I don't believe. So we're given a pretty simple function f, we're given g, and then you can see around we have inverse stuff all over the place on these. So I'm really most interested in the inverse function, so I think it's probably worth taking some time. We have more space than we need here to find these inverses. So if f of x is 1/8 x minus 3, then let's go ahead and find the inverse of f. So here's the process for finding the inverse of f. Change y into x. X equals 1/8 y minus 3. Solve for y. Let's see, 1/8 y, add 3 to the x, equals x plus 3. Y is times 8, 8x plus 24. That is f inverse of x, is 8x plus 24. Let's find g's inverse. Well, g's inverse, I think we can actually do that. The word the book used was informally. G inverse of x, if g of x is x to the third, it's only one step. I have to take third root. Third root of x. Okay. And now we need to find, you know me, I don't like that form, f inverse of, or g inverse of f inverse of negative 3. So that's g inverse of, I want negative 3 into f inverse. So that is negative 3 goes into f inverse. That is 1/8 times negative 3 minus 3. That's g inverse of negative 3/8 minus 3. That's minus 24/8. That's g inverse of negative 27/8, and g inverse is a factor that takes the third root. So that's third root of negative 27 on 8, and all of a sudden this nasty fraction came out pretty nicely. Third root of a negative is negative. Third root of 27 is 3. Third root of 8 is 2. And that's it. And the good news is we don't have to do that part again because we've got our inverses. So here we want g inverse of 4. Well, g inverse takes the third root of the thing, so this is g inverse of the third root of 4, and g inverse takes the third root of things, so that thing equals the third root of the third root of 4. And what do we do with that thing? Well, I could make this the third root of 4 to the 1/3, which is 4 to the 1/3 to the 1/3. And now people make mistakes on this all the time, and it's because of memorization. I talk about this, but I guarantee because of memorization is the problem. It's not understanding. Because you learned rules that said x squared times x to, that were about like x squared, so this is a little sidebar right here. X squared times x to the third, and then you had like x squared to the third, and it's like, oh my gosh, is this 5? Is it 6? Is this 6? Is it 5? Or is it 2 to the third 8? And we memorized. Well, this means x times x times x times x times x, right? Therefore, x to the 5th. This means 3 groups of x squared. It's like this. It's x squared, x squared, x squared, or xx, xx, xx. Oh, that's x to the 6th. So when we have a power to a power, what do? Think of it as groups. 3 groups of 2 multiply. Therefore, 1/3 group of 1/3, multiply those, and we get 4 to the 1/9. And that is a good solution. I suspect the answer key has that as the 9th root of 4. And then when they don't have a number with this, this is like that. So that is G inverse of F inverse of X. And F inverse of X is 8X plus 24. 8X plus 24. So that's G inverse of 8X plus 24. And G inverse takes the third root of things. So this is the third root of 8X plus 24. But that is the third root of 8 times X plus 3. And the third root of 8 is 2. 2 third root X plus 3. Best answer. So very quick page, more space there than you needed, other than we did need some space to find F inverse, G inverse. So I really, honestly here have done a fair amount of the work that's necessary for 105, 107, 109. You're probably looking at just a few minutes on this one. And that wraps up Chapter 6.